What if you lean in the exact opposite direction and say, fuck the volume, fuck the mass content. I'm going to lean super, super hard into authenticity, one-off content. And when I've got something to say, I'm going to go fucking hard. I'm going to make it authentic. There's going to be typos so people can see it's real. I'm not even going to have an editor. Like, fuck it. I want things to be messy. But screenshots are going to be a little janky. But everybody, what I can absolutely deliver in spades is that when someone shows up or when sees any of my content, they're like, oh, that's Lars. That's real.
When it comes to SEO and getting your website, your brand and your name to rank in Google and in LLMs, increasingly, there's a few people that I listen to everything they have to say. And Lars Lofgren is absolutely one of them. If you're not familiar with Lars, he's been in the SEO game for a while, working with huge brands like Ramit Sethi and I Will Teach You to Be Rich. And he knows a ton about SEO and what gets things to rank. And this conversation literally blew my mind, talking about really advanced strategies on and off site. So on site and places like Reddit, YouTube, LinkedIn, but also then maybe some like alternative approaches to content and inbound marketing. Lars and I talk about like, what is this thing that we're doing that used to be called SEO? Well, what does this even mean anymore? And how to stand out as a brand in the AI era. Because I think it fundamentally is a shift in how we think about talking about ourselves and our brand and getting that in front of our ideal audience and persona. I hope you enjoy this conversation with Lars Lofgren, all about AI SEO. I think let's just kind of start right out of the gate with like, what are we talking about? What do we call this thing? What do you call this?
Fucking AI SEO. I don't know, but I'm sick of the fucking debates. Jesus. Fucking there's GEO, there's LLM EO, or fucking AI SEO. There's like half a dozen other terms. Every day I fucking open up LinkedIn and someone's having another argument about what the term is. And I'm, let me make the opposite case. I do understand the need to name it something different. And there's one reason why. Not because the work is any different, but because if you are, if you're an SEO professional, if you're in the space, if you've done content for SEO, if you're an agency selling SEO marketing of any flavor of it at all, if you go to any client right now and you're like, oh, I specialize in SEO, their eyes immediately glaze over. They don't want to have anything to do with you. They're not fucking interested. Doesn't matter how many tens of millions of dollars is still flowing through that vertical in like old school actual or like the Google search box. Still, it's not dead yet. It's still there. Doesn't matter that like all this AI shit, the foundation's all just like SEO. The tactics have shifted a little bit, but it's still fucking SEO. It's still a search engine. We still have to optimize for it. None of that matters. People just don't, like business owners, founders, leaders, leadership teams. No one wants to invest in SEO right now, which I do kind of empathize with a little bit. It's like,
yeah, it's like a sinking ship, right? Yeah.
Looking at my Google Analytics reports anymore. Like it just sucks. So I get it. But at the end of the day, regardless of what we call it, like 80% of it's still the same. You have to, our priorities shift. We like certain strategies are dead and gone, but like a lot of it is still the same. But you can't call it SEO because if you do, you don't get any more clients. So I get it, but I'm also sick of it. So anyway, I don't know what to call it. And
okay. So we're, on this show, we're going to call it AI SEO.
Great. That sounds good to me. That is clear. I think it's and simple.
Descriptive because AEO sounds like, I don't know. Sounds like, I don't know, something I don't understand, but, so I think at a fundamental level, to me, because like for context, Castos, 80% of our growth has come from content marketing and SEO. It's all that we've done, all that we've done from a content perspective that I think has worked. The other bit is like integrations and partnerships.
Yep.
Which is cool. Like as a SaaS business, that's kind of a lot of people's bread and butter. SEO has been rough. I think we've lost about 60% of our traffic over 2 years ago. A bunch of it was really shitty.
That sounds
traffic,
normal.
Right?
That sounds normal. Everyone's going through. I kind of look at it as two big 25% hits. Well, one was like a clear hit over when the AIOs fucking rolled out on Google, and then kind of the year prior, there's just been this slow bleed out. There's everything's dipping a little bit month over month. And then when you actually add it all up over like the last year, there's like another 25% hit on top of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sounds right on target of everything else I'm seeing and hearing across the board. Obviously there's some exceptions in the space. There always are, but anybody that's had like a content program for the most part, if you told me, hey, we only dropped 60%, I'd be like, well, only. Yeah, that's fine. You're like right on target. Anybody that's not dropping is actually like world-class right now, which is fucking nuts. So,
yeah. And what's interesting is that all happened and our trial starts are about the same. So cool. I'm like, probably a bit like HubSpot. And I don't know if that's like a 4-letter word in your, in your world or not, but like they lost a bunch, right?
Yeah. Just super top of funnel. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like, for us, we're a podcast hosting company. It's like best true crime podcast that we lost a bunch of traffic on. All these kind of things that like our customers are never going to, like someone searching for that is never going to become our customer. I think that for me, the first place I look at this transformation, it is like the behavior and intent of a person doing a thing who will then end up at your brand.
Yeah.
Before it was like podcast hosting platform for us or CRM in the HubSpot example or website builder or whatever. And now they're like asking a question or having a conversation with ChatGPT that then could lead them to your brand. And I guess the question is like, how do we put ourselves in front of that train?
Yeah. So this is an excellent question and something I think it's funny. Everybody in the SEO space is now talking about bottom of the funnel and like all these product terms. Cause I was like, do you all not know that affiliates exist? The affiliate industry. And so my last business, I took it from 0 to 7 million in 4 or 5 years or something. And it was an 100% affiliate SEO play. We went after B2B. We probably did some podcasting posts at some point. It might've been going head to head with some of your stuff. But we were going after everything. We went super hard. And there is a very, very deep, tons of experts have been doing this affiliate bottom of the funnel stuff for decades now. Like none of this stuff's new. But yeah, those terms matter more than ever. I mean, they always matter. Like if you have an analytics tool, should you rank for best analytics tool? Yeah. Like that's kind of top of the list. So that game has shifted a little bit. I mean, the affiliate space has gotten like totally blown up. That's a whole other thing. But for any software business trying to go after those terms, when people are like, it's very in vogue in the SEO community right now. Whenever people are talking about that, I'm like, yeah, no shit. Where the fuck have you been? This is not new. I mean, yes, it's the one area that like hasn't been decimated, and I think has long-term, like it's going to survive this AI transition. So any investment into those terms or whatever the SEO is you want to do around that, which is a mix of stuff, which I can talk about that I feel comfortable doing going forward. Or if I was brought in as some like head of marketing, VP of marketing, CMO, whatever, it's like I would do this day one and just get after it. But yeah, that stuff is all important. That is the easiest thing any company can do in order to set themselves up for an AI search world. Those blog posts, the roundup posts, there's like a whole category of terms that are all in this space: alternatives versus competitors. If you have like an agency, it's agencies, services, companies, and you find all the fucking specific niches that do apply to you. And then you get really focused on them, and good content, tons of updates, good mix of landing pages. Again, we can talk about all this in specifics if you want. But that is the go-to move right now. Honestly, it's not even right now. It's not even about the future. It's just, you should have been doing all of that 5 years ago. Yeah. and somehow people forgot that or didn't focus on it. For me, I've done enough of it that it's just like, why would you do anything else? You start here. This is where all the money is. It's where you can, like, that's why all the massive affiliate businesses generating hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue have been going after this stuff for, again, decades. I consider it obvious, but I also agree it is going to survive this transition. So that's why everybody's talking about it now, even though it's not really a new thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just speak like from my perspective. We've done a bit of both. The reason we did more top of funnel stuff is it's just easier, right? Like long tail niche keywords. Like we have a pretty high DR. We can just rank for stuff. And that makes you feel good. Like, fuck, look, 2,500 page views a month for this random thing.
Traffic has value. It always did. You can build an audience. You get enough traffic, you can always convert them to an email list. And now you got this marketing flywheel moving, and SEO is straightforward. And now it's not just the AI stuff. Google algorithm has gone all fucked up. I can talk about that if you want. So it's not the same game. That's the biggest thing that's changed, regardless of what's happening with AI. Like, you can't just publish content and like rank. And not even like spam content. Like, you can just go so hard on quality content. And even if the search volume's still there, trying to rank for that stuff is just, you'll lose your fucking mind trying to go after it in many cases. So you almost have to pull back on the editorial like programs because it doesn't work like it used to. So,
yeah. Okay. So the playbook is like bottom of funnel versus pages, comparison pages, like hardcore feature pages, I would guess. Listicles like best X for Y, maybe even.
Yeah. The big change that has shifted in this space that's relevant to all of your listeners, and this is all fairly tactical. The biggest change Google has had with like the old school blue links on page one and just ranking things. The biggest change in these bottom of the funnel terms is that Google really wants to rank specific landing pages for specific products. It used to be, even like back in 2022, that the entire first page of Google would be blog posts. Now, there are some blog posts still there that are doing the like listicle roundups and reviews. They're still there, but it's not stacked like it used to be. Now you get a ton of either homepages for products or landing pages for products. So the trick now, or like the SEO tactical thing to do now, is to actually go through your marketing site, your homepage, all your key like product pages and all that stuff, and really map it to the entire bottom of the funnel category that you're in. Any of these funnels, if you're like project management, CRM, podcasting, whatever it is, they are going to split and segment into all sorts of random stuff. There's always a few standouts like cheap and free, and a few ones like that. But it's usually like it's fragments, and it's always different for every category, right? Based on your industry and how your target market actually segments the products. You want to go through that. You want to map out all those distinct topics, not just keywords, like actual genuine distinct topics. We can talk about what that means, but you go through the whole thing, and then you sit down and you say, okay, do we actually have a landing page that targets every single one of these? Like, if people are looking for free podcasting tool, do we have a landing page that is like linked directly from our homepage that says free podcasting tools? And this is our version of a free pod. It's not just a free plan on our pricing page. Is, do we have a landing page dedicated to that? That will increase the odds that Google actually picks that up and says, oh, this is a product that's viable for this specific topic. Now you're in the running. Now, maybe the competition's low enough that you rank immediately, maybe not, I don't know. But you actually have a shot. And so like mapping that whole cluster, and that's not just going out with blog posts, although you should probably do that too, but really going through all your landing pages. Every SaaS company should be doing that right now. Again, they should be doing it.
Tell me the difference in your mind between like a keyword and like a topic.
Yeah, so this is something any hardcore SEO person will probably be very familiar with this. But like, so keywords, this is not new. This is not like in the last couple of years. I stopped thinking in keywords, I don't know, like a decade ago. And Google long time ago got pretty focused on the semantic stuff, not just like, oh, is this singular versus plural? That's old. But really going through and say, oh, when people use this word, it's basically the same as this other word, and figuring out all the random keyword combinations and basically clustering them really, really tightly. And now when you like go after a given topic, you're not just going after that individual keyword. You're going after hundreds, thousands of different keywords, and not just like subtopics. Oh, that's a whole other version of this. But just variants of that topic, like a two terms. I disagree with this, but Google considers them synonyms all the time, like jobs and careers, even though they're two very different things. Like if you're in the like career or job how-to content space, which some of my clients have been, I've helped with them with some of that stuff, but Google will basically consider them synonyms all the way down. So whenever it's fucking maddening. It makes the content really difficult. It's like,
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, but I have to constantly say, okay, is this true? When I'm pulling up keywords and I'm trying to architect a blog or content or landing pages in this case, is this truly unique? Does Google truly consider this a unique topic, or am I just going to publish a bunch of junk? Well, it's not junk, but I'm going to publish a bunch of stuff, and Google's like, it's all the same thing. Why do I have all that stuff? Like an easy way to go look at this is go like on NerdWallet does a great job of keeping it clean. Investopedia too. HubSpot has done well. Go look at their popular blog posts and just look at all the crazy keyword variants that post ranks for. It's all over the fucking place. So it actually takes a decent amount of work to like keep your structure clean. And whenever you're doing keywords, I always turn them into topics. That's the next step. We actually call it topic development. That's what I've called. My co-founder taught me this in my last company. And we actually had an entire process and like a full-time person on just topic development to actually turn keywords into distinct topics that needed a unique landing page, blog post, whatever it is. And then you can also, the nice thing about this is the topic ends up being essentially your primary keyword. And it's very easy to assess the performance of that post or landing page and how much opportunity there is. Because even if you're ranking and even if it's bringing in some of this traffic on some of this smaller stuff, it's like, are you winning the big thing yet? Yes or no? And then maybe it's worth doing that investment. How far do you have to go? Right.
Yeah, got it. So I'm just going to paraphrase, roll up individual keywords and variants of that into an overarching topic, and that topic becomes the new key phrase for that you want to write a piece of content for.
Yeah, just make sure it doesn't overlap with other topics, and the only way I know how to do that is check the SERPs. Just go look at Google, and if there's a bunch of other random stuff that is all over the place, then it's probably not a unique topic. If everybody is like, oh, if every post or page is like on that thing, it's probably unique.
Yeah, cool. Okay. I mean, so interestingly, I think we're still talking about Google. Is that what you think about when you do content?
Right now, yeah. Although I'm fucking changing. So let me say this. I am so glad I don't run a content agency. Those folks, oh man. I'm so glad I don't like it when like a client decides to end and I'm doing like fractional head of marketing or head of content stuff. And if a client ends things, I'm just like, okay, move on. But yeah, that it is very difficult to justify budget in Google right now, even though that's still where, like, comparatively, that's where the money is. That's where even with all the hits, the 50, the 60% hits, all this stuff, it still dwarfs everything else today. Will it in the future? I don't know. Right. So, I mean, the other thing is, when you're building like landing pages and stuff like this, you still want to work. I still see value in like the keywords and the blue link rankings, because that shows me how people are thinking about that product category or just that subject in general. Yeah. And then, yes, AR search is very different. People ask very different questions. The search behaviors are definitely evolving, but it still gives me a lot of data into like, okay, how are people segmenting this market? What types of questions do they have? What are the primary topics when they want, when they're talking about a given topic? What is the real framing that they want above all else? Right. So you can get a lot of insights that can kind of fuel everything else that you're doing. So it's not, I still get value out of it. How long will that exist? I don't know.
Yeah. But interesting. I haven't thought of like, some of the value of this is like the data from Google is available, at least like the data from LLMs. There's some LLM tools that tell you some of this stuff, but like on the whole, that they're not, like they're much more black boxes. Reminds me of like the old days of SEO. Like we don't know. We're trying to figure this stuff out with like ranking and LLMs, but because there wasn't as much data then as there is now. On Google. I want to ask about non-website based content, because this is something I hear more and more. It's like, hey, you got to have your content on your website, and you got to have, when it comes to LLMs, your content other places like Reddit, Quora, LinkedIn, YouTube, for LLMs, because they crawl all this stuff and they, want to build like a a map of your brand and your content from multiple places. Do you believe that? Is that something you're doing?
Yeah. It's not something I'm doing, but maybe I should. Okay. So let's, one of the ways to just make myself feel better about all of the transition that we're in is something I've been doing for like the last year. And I want to do a lot more of it. It's basically go in the way I figure out a new game or a new like fucking algorithm or a new world or whatever is go find the people that are pushing that system to the absolute limit and kind of work backwards from there. It's usually black hat, hacker, scammer, fucking assholes. And then, cause they're pushing it to the limit and they've already isolated things down to like the real inputs. All right, like I'll give you an example from personal experience, and maybe this qualifies me as like an affiliate scammer. I don't know. But like my last business, the reason we did so well and we grew revenue so fast is we knew the Google game. And what was the loophole at Google in the past era? It was fucking links. That's it. That's how I can boil everything down to. You have like a decently strong domain. You get enough links to a particular page. Yeah, you got to get the search intent right. And there's some other basic stuff you have to do. But like, if there's one thing you push on harder than anything else, link building. Everybody in the affiliate space knew this. And the players that did the best were the best at link building, period. There's a whole industry that could build up around this stuff. And that's how you abuse the fuck out of Google. So it's like, how is Google working? Links. It's that simple. That is not true anymore. The loopholes are definitely different. So if we work backwards from there, it's like, okay, who are the players that are abusing AI already? And what are they doing? Well, there are scammers, maybe not even officially scammers, just dodgy fucking companies doing things and abusing the hell out of Reddit, and that is carrying over into AI tools. Like I'm already seeing this. I actually just released a post yesterday on the Windows key license space. There's all these sketchy companies that sell very cheap gray market Windows keys, your licenses for your fucking desktop or laptop. And they sell them for like $9. The normal price is like $140, right? Yep. And huge gray market. And they are showing up in AI tools. They're showing up in ChatGPT. They're showing up in Perplexity. And actually a company I looked at got 2 huge brand mentions right off the bat when I was asking Perplexity about how do I get a Windows key. They came up right away. And I had already gone through this company and this website to figure out, okay, what are they doing marketing wise to like rank in Google? And the answer is just abuse the fuck out of Reddit. But beyond that, what else is Perplexity referencing to like mention these brands? And these brands are new. They're not, these are sketchy websites. They don't have real authentic marketing funnels or brand searches or user behavior. So they're abusing something. What are they abusing? One, they are abusing Reddit. They're like all over the place. And it's just, you get a hold of alt accounts, you seed questions, you follow up with other alt accounts and fake responses. Like if you want to do that shady stuff, you can, and it fucking works. It works so well. It's stupid. But even if you want to do the authentic way, it's like, okay, how do you get people in Reddit talking about your company and like connecting your brand name to like the entity in your product space? So like describing such and such brand as a CRM. You basically need those two things right to get so that every LLM can basically say like, oh, this entity is close to this entity, right? You just do that over and over again, constantly seed it. So you can do it authentically. You can do it the shitty, scammy way, whatever. The other thing to do, and I'm hearing this from the local SEO folks, and I'm also seeing this too. ChatGPT, I think, uses it to some degree. Perplexity is getting duped. They're leaning on it too hard. Perplexity really trusts Trustpilot, like the review site.
Oh, wow.
And I'm hearing it from the local SEO folks. That's not just Google reviews. It's like all the other review sites. Like these AI tools, they rely on these review sites super heavily. Like, did these review sites matter? Yes. But now it's all like, kind of feels like I need to do more exploration and like see if I can fuck with this some more.
Like they have a deal or something, huh?
No, you just do the fake shit. Come on, Amazon, fucking fake reviews. Like, that's not new. This has been around forever. Again, nothing's really changed. It's just like the tactics have shifted a little bit. And so now if like some websites like, Lars, we want to do like the hardcore, like sketchy stuff to just like get our fucking marketing through the moon. Should we do a bunch of link building? I'm like, no. Go pay for reviews. Like, that's the simple answer. So yeah, go pay for, there's all sorts of companies that will just juice your Trustpilot reviews and your Capterra and Trust Radius and all these other sites. Go jack up those reviews as far as you can. And if you want to do things the real way, or like the authentic way, then, okay, how are you going to your extremely happy customers and asking for reviews? Are you incentivizing reviews? Are you sending them like a little mascot, like, bobblehead if they do a review for you? I don't know. You have fun with it. But how can you get your real customers seeding all these reviews and getting your reviews way up? Because all it takes is like one dodgy competitor in your category. If they're pushing hard on this, they're going to destroy everybody else. Right. So that is front and center. It's like reviews and then constantly seeding conversations in Reddit, and any other like social area that's crawlable. Again, the black hat, the sketchy folks, they're already in these spaces. They're doing it constantly and they're everywhere. That's why you can't like trust Reddit at all. Really, you gotta be really careful. But like all the sketchy affiliate folks, they all moved into Reddit and they're just going to town on it. They're not even trying to do it for brand building. They're just doing it to like for the affiliate commissions, and it's still working and it's blatant when they're doing it. Like if I could check my conscience like at the door or just like forget that I like care about doing things the right way. The easiest agency to build right now, and I'd be making so much fucking money, is I would just hit every SaaS fucking marketing team out there. And what I would do is I would just have like an army of people and they'd just be buying up Reddit accounts left and right. And we would just be seeding. We wouldn't link. We would never link. This is how you keep assholes like me from figuring out what you're doing. You would never, ever link. And you just seed comments that mention your brand here and there. You also have to be disciplined. You can't hit it too hard because then people will start to figure out what's going on. But if you just start sliding quietly into all the niche subreddits, and there's so many. If you just slide into them and just start seeding it, you will start getting picked. So a few things will happen. One, you'll get all the brand impressions with the people that actually follow that community, who are probably a ton of professionals that are your exact target market. So you get that hit. Two, you rank in Google like immediately because Google just trusts everything in Reddit. And that's how you get like the number 2 spot in Google for every term on the fucking internet right now. So boom, you get a second hit. And the third hit, all the LLM data comes in and crawls it. Now you start showing up when anybody's like fucking asking about your industry in any of these AI tools. And you hit all of them all at the same time. Like, that is the best ROI on the internet right now. You just can't have any morals, right? Like you just have to be sketchy about it.
Okay, but there's white hat ethical version of that, which is like, hey, we got these accounts, we developed them, we have 15 accounts, we're gonna go and we're gonna work with 10 brands at a time, and we're gonna put all of those accounts over here and do all this kind of networky brand kind of equity stuff for you.
There is the problem with Reddit is it's so anti-marketing. So there are ways to do it authentically. I know of some people that have built like very great businesses, primarily off of Reddit, and everybody knows what they're doing. It's all out in the open. And they've done a great job at it. It's usually like founder led or like evangelist type stuff, right? Like, I'm so-and-so, I work at this company. You're the value first. You're slowly building the brand equity, not just around your brand, but also your own username and becoming, this takes years to do the right way. Like Reddit is so anti-marketing that you almost have to go like crazy long-term to do it the real way. Otherwise you just get shut out hard.
Yeah.
And you can do a little bit here and there. It's like, okay, maybe you have an employee bouncing around answering questions. But you got to be like the line between like the community accepting you and you getting kicked out is like razor thin. That's why Reddit kind of became so popular for so long. And that is around any healthy community, that anti-marketing bias is still there. So like publishing reports or doing lead gen funnels or anything, like can't do any of that, or like advertising webinars. Fuck that. Can't do it. You got to lead super value forward. And like, if that's what I was doing, if I was building a SaaS company right now, I would probably, as a founder, I would figure out which communities I was going to focus on, and I would start just being super helpful. But you can't just, like, I've gotten a lot of marketing budget over the years and talked people out of a lot of marketing budget. I don't know how I would sell that to like most VPs of marketing or CEOs at the moment. Like, yeah, we're going to spend a bunch of time building up brand equity and you're not going to see any results for like 3 years. Like, good luck. Maybe somebody else can do that. But like a founder or CEO has to like really believe in that. Which is why the founder-led marketing is always like the go-to move, right? But
yeah, hey, we do a bit of it, and it comes mostly from me, and I'm very open. Like, hey, Craig here from Castos, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a post yesterday with like 50 comments.
Great.
I'm like, we don't get that from email. We don't get that. We sure as fuck don't get that from YouTube, which is the channel I want to like the most, but is really really hard for us at least, which is weird. LinkedIn, I think, is just a cesspool. Like, I'm there because I kind of have to be, I feel like, but it has no value to me. But yeah, like Reddit, I want to go as like hard as I can there because I think like it aligns with our type of customer a lot, right? Like they are pretty techie, tech curious kind of folks. They have a lot of questions. They like participating in these kind of forums, and like it's easy for us to get like visibility there. So yeah, I mean, like if I had to say we're only going to do one thing, it would be like work on the shit on our site already, like to rank as well as we can, and then like amplify that with Reddit. Like that is kind of our playbook.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. But it's also being led by you, right? Which is why it kind of like works, right? If you were to hire some agency to do it for you, then it like all starts to break down really fast.
Yeah, opinion. I would go a little gray hat with it. Like if we could buy old Reddit accounts and kind of juice some stuff in the community.
It is very, very easy to do that. I know some pretty, I can't name names. But I know
I'll hit you up afterwards.
pretty major companies that brands that everybody would know are in Reddit, and they're not doing it the authentic way. It's like the classic like viral, you start fights in the community, right? Like you come out with a controversial take, like podcasts are going to die, and then your alt account is like, fuck you, they're not going anywhere. And then the whole community starts ripping itself apart, and like your piece of content goes to the top. It's like, people are doing that. Like so much of that is manufactured right now.
That's crazy.
So, yeah,
that's crazy. I was listening to one of the HubSpot podcasts, and they had their internal SEO person come out and say that their data says that their average website visitor, average customer average website visitor is worth 4 times if they're coming from ChatGPT or LLM versus Google. Like the lifetime value of someone who comes from an LLM is 4 times what them coming from Google is. Does that make sense to you?
Possibly. But also it's probably just because it's like, you gotta be careful with these comparisons because it's not really the same. It's not apples to apples. It's like comparing what is the Google, or what is the value of a Google user versus an email, or like a Google customer versus an email customer.
Fair. Yeah.
People have been making those comparisons for my entire career, and I always thought it was so fucking stupid because email customers are further down the funnel, right? They're almost customers. And then of course they're going to be more valuable, right? They're all the way down. So I kind of look at all the AI tools the same way. Like if someone gets through an AI tool, then hops on your site, they're way further down the buyer journey than most of the people that are hitting your site fresher from, Google search directly.
Yeah.
Same thing why you can't really compare, like, what is the value of Facebook or TikTok or Twitter or, whatever, Instagram customers. Like, that's top of funnel stuff. You can't, like, it's super noisy. It's really messy. The intent isn't there like at all. If you get any customers, you should be like, it's branding, right? Like doing the actual, like direct response ROI comparison doesn't really make sense because they're always stacked in different places of the marketing funnel. Right. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a bit of relief though. It's someone who's like written a bunch of top of funnel stuff and worried about that a lot. Like to say, let's just sell it less important. Let's focus only on bottom of funnel stuff. One, for Google, like that's great, conversion. But two, if that's the shit that it matches kind of the query intent of someone in LLM, and that's how they're going to convert, and that's the most important stuff. Like that's just a whole lot less that we have to worry about from like we got to optimize this piece of content. Like that for a focus, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it does provide a lot of focus. I mean, I've got a SaaS client right now who has a pretty big blog that I've been overhauling, and like if I was to describe how my strategy has changed in the last like year and a half, I went from, okay, let's try to, kind of a standard. We're going after the whole, this is basically a larger marketing blog. Like, let's go after all the marketers, great fit for this product. Not everyone's a perfect fit, but hey, we have a lot of track record. We're not doing an expansion here. We have a long, long history in this, like a ton of segments of all of marketing. And every like 3 to 6 months, I'm like, fuck, we got to pare this back even more. We got to keep it even more.
Yeah.
And now
even more bottom of funnel.
I'm just narrowing the content focus. And right now, so, I mean, with all this AI shit, I was like, oh, fuck. So, I keep seeing the traffic reports. I'm seeing how things are moving. And I'm like, okay, I was trying to like fix everything and kind of start high up and then kind of like come down as I got like the biggest stuff fixed. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to flip this because I don't know where this is going to end. I don't know if I can do like half of marketing or 30% of marketing. Or I'm not going to reveal the exact categories because then I would give the company name away. But like, I don't know where I'm going to be able to draw the lines. I don't know how much informational content is going to make sense in 5 years. Maybe some of it makes sense. Maybe none of it makes sense. Maybe everybody quits and then it suddenly becomes ROI positive again. Like maybe, I don't know, but like I have to go to the founders and say like, yes, I'm using your money effectively. That seems like a reasonable thing to have to say. So I'm like, okay, how do I make sure that regardless of what happens, I can say to a straight face to them, yes, your money was well spent. Yes. Like we didn't know what was going to happen, but man, we started with the stuff that had the highest potential for winning or just surviving and getting us through and providing some value in 5 years as it does today. And what I finally decided was like, okay, let me just pretend this is a decent sized brand, huge website, crazy link authority. But I was like, you know what? Let me just pretend this was a brand new SaaS startup, like day one. What would I do? I'm like, well, bottom of the funnel and then like this one little category. Let me just go fix all the links and all the old content, like just in there. And there might be a world where I just have to like delete everything else, right? Instead of trying to rescue this like big giant thing. Let me just get really, really focused. So, I mean, I do agree with you. It's like the focus kind of, it's like annoying because I'm like, there's so much here that we could go after, but also, really simplifies what to work on.
Yeah.
So,
and I think from a founder perspective, that's probably the hardest part, right? Is like, I got this to worry about. I got a, fucking product and marketing and sales and all this kind of stuff. And like, even within marketing and even within content to be able to say, okay, it's like mostly 80-20 is just bottom of funnel and like some community and authority and link building stuff. Maybe that's cool. That's
I wouldn't even worry about link building. I mean, just build your audience the real way. Links matter. They do not matter like they used to.
Yeah.
Anybody that says that is not paying attention. I have posts that have like thousands of quality links, like really good links. I can't get them to rank for shit.
Interesting.
Like, the algorithm so wonky with links right now. So anyway,
what do you think that people kind of in the SEO space or marketers who kind of think they know what they're doing with SEO, what do you think is something they believe or they're doing that is wrong? Aside from links.
I don't know. I used to have like really strong opinions about like every tactical item in SEO. I was like, ignore that. Anybody talks about that is full shit. Everybody talked about site speed for the longest time. I'm like, don't fucking matter. You know how many times I've done a site speed project and it like never impacted the site like at all. Like just make sure it's not slow as shit. Then you're fine and ignore all the Google reports of like the last content paint and all that. Fuck that shit. Right. So I had opinions about everything because I've been doing it for long enough. And I tried like all of it and most of it didn't work. In the last 2 years, what I actually decided like a year ago, like actually in the middle of 2023, I thought I was losing my mind, right? Because that's when the algorithm started to shift like big. And it's a completely different algorithm now. And I hadn't really come to terms with that in that summer. I was still trying to I was like, oh, what's going on? I still was kind of in the old paradigm. I thought I was losing my fucking mind. And so fast forward, like things kept getting worse into like 2024. And I think in early 2024, I just decided, okay, the only way going forward, I have to take every single SEO lesson I've ever learned, or just like marketing, maybe not the core marketing stuff about positioning and, differentiation and all that stuff, but anything like channel relevant, I have to throw that out. Wow. I have to start over. Every tactic is now back on the drawing board. And if someone tells me look, if they tell me site speed matters, I'm still going to tell them, no, it fucking doesn't. Fuck off. But they're like the vast majority of stuff I have to reconsider. Like there's a big argument right now about like vector analysis and entities and measuring that on a content level. And some people are saying this really matters, and other people are saying like, what? And and like, how much does it matter? Is it like the extra push, or is it a big lever? I don't know. But like even stuff like that, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. When people ask me these days about stuff, I say way more I don't knows about like tons of SEO stuff. And there's a theory of the moment in the SEO community. There always is. My first take is like, maybe, I don't know, I'll go test it. Like I'll say right now, people really aren't talking about this too much, but I feel confident about this one because I tested it a bunch of times. Like table of contents. Like it's in the sidebar like all the time. That's the in vogue design template, right? And it shifted during this like big algorithm change. Everyone went from having the TOC in the body with those stupid plugins, or sometimes they did it by hand and it was well designed, but a lot of it was that one stupid fucking plugin that always looked the same. Yeah. And then everybody moved it into the sidebar, or anybody that's like serious, all the business blogs moved it into, or B2B blogs moved into the sidebar. And I was like, maybe that matters. Like I always thought TOCs were fucking stupid, but maybe it matters now. I tested it on like 4 fucking sites. Didn't do shit, right? Like it just did not matter. I got it. It was well designed. And then there's some rumors, like someone at Google said that like it might actually be hurting crawling. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So if someone came to me and was like, yeah, the TOC really matters, you need to have that. Like every SEO audit, I always do that step 1, any new client I work on. I'm like, yeah, you can like do it because you believe in the design. I don't, from a UX perspective, but if you do, cool, go do that. And then immediately move on to the next thing. From a technical SEO or performance based perspective, it's not going to do anything. I had to figure out the hard way by doing it a bunch of times and seeing the results or not seeing any results. And now it's like, I'd ignore that one. So anyway.
I think that mirrors a lot of like what a lot of founders I'm talking to feel like just across the board, right? Like used to be pretty clear. There was the path, you do this, 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 and this, and then like you get customers. Now you're like, AI and just like how
product
AI
development's
is affecting
totally changed. Everything's being ripped up, and I think
willingness
the vast
to pay
majority,
and
it's bullshit. But there are a few things that will come out of it that actually matter. I don't know what they are yet. I'm glad I'm not building a SaaS product right now. Oh my God. I feel so bad for every SaaS founder that's just getting like demolished by AI. Like I feel it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. Okay, well, kind of zoom out a little bit. Like we've not been affected like negatively by AI in terms of like growth or revenue or anything like that. I think we're relatively insulated, from like what we do, like what the job of our product is. But like, how do you see AI affecting kind of just like B2B in general?
Like operations or like company building, or what level?
I guess like company building and like trajectory, like obviously like smaller teams, more productive, more effective. Like, I don't know. Like what are you, let me ask it a different way, I guess. Like, what are you kind of worried about and optimizing towards with AI in mind?
So something that I've begun to believe in. I will, let me speak from the marketing or the content perspective. I probably have the most opinions about AI because I've been in it enough, and I'm seeing there are playbooks that are starting to develop. And I'm just basically, I've come to terms with the fact that I don't want to do that. And that sucks. And I'm going to go do something else. So the way content marketing is going, like building an inbound engine for your company, the way AI is impacting that is probably the most reliable path forward that'll give you the benefits without getting you burned is a huge chunk of your content is driven by AI, but you have something original to fuel it, right? You're not just going into AI and basically being like, give me 100 blog posts on these topics. Like that might work a little bit for a while, but you're also like really jacking up the risk, right? Like there's already sites getting burned by that stuff. So just, maybe you're doing enough quality to stay in the clear. Maybe there's a shitload of risk hanging over your head and you don't realize it. That was my company, my last company. I had this existential risk hanging above it all the time, and I didn't even know it until it started to flip, right? So that can happen. But the way to do it the legit way, like let's say you're a major, you're going for IPO, you're raising your Series D, C, and you're doing massive content budget, something like, what would the content team look like? Well, you're probably taking some original content. If you have a very prolific founder on the content space, great. You have tons of material to work with. Maybe you have a few internal writers that are doing really top tier stuff, independent studies, working
first party data.
First party data. And that's like the fuel. Like, so you get like one big study out that's basically written by hand and is like a really, really high level. And then you take that study and you turn it into just endless LinkedIn posts, endless ads, endless funnels, endless blog posts. You update all of your blog posts with that data. Like, you can just kind of like, you take that original stuff and you just fucking take the volume and jack it the way up. So you get, that's sort of like the sweet spot. You get all the volume from AI, but then it's also unique enough that it's not just pure AI content. It's I think the top tier content teams are doing some version of that right now. That sounds miserable to me.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, I get it. And the people running it, I respect. Like, it takes a lot of skill to run, like to keep the quality high enough, but then also get the volume. That is respectable. So I'm not talking shit. And it works right now. It is actively working for major. So if you're, I'm not going to name names because I'll actually name someone I know. But if you're a major brand and you want to go super hard on content in all the categories, it's like some version of that. Now I've made the decision that, like, fuck that shit. I don't want to do it. So I'm probably not going to be some VP of marketing at like the Shopify or something. I don't know if Shopify's doing this, but like some big brand.
Yeah.
But so my theory, and maybe this pans out, maybe it doesn't. So like, everything is going in that direction. And I mean, B2B content marketing was already kind of going this way. It was just like human fueled, but like every blog,
the arbitrage is just different.
Yeah. Right? The arbitrage is just different. But like even the voice, the branding, like I always thought it was really funny when any like B2B content team spent a ton of time on their like voice guidelines. It was like, when's the last time you went to a blog, any blog, and it had a unique voice, right? And that's been true for a decade, right? Like it hasn't stood out for a while. And now AI has just like fueled that to the 10th degree. And now, regardless if it's AI or seeded with humans, or even if it is human generated, like it's all identical anyway. So how, like, you can't really stand out. And the volume is just so fucking high that, like, even if you could still get traction with it, like, I think everybody's brains are just going to start to gloss over. It's like, the same fucking post, the same PDF, the same. It's like what Canva did, all the B2B design stuff. Like it all looks the same now. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what if you lean in the exact opposite direction and say, fuck the volume, fuck the mass content. I'm going to lean super, super hard into authenticity, one-off content. And when I've got something to say, I'm going to go fucking hard. I'm going to make it authentic. There's going to be typos. so people can see it's real. I'm not even gonna have an editor. Fuck it. I want things to be messy. My screenshots are going to be a little janky. But everybody, what I can absolutely deliver in spades is that when someone shows up or when sees any of my content, they're like, oh, that's Lars. That's real. And they can just get that feeling right off the gate. Like even Pinterest, right? It's all AI generated slop and it all feels the same. Facebook feeds, same shit. TikTok's going this way. Everything's just generic. It's got that same stylistic vibe. What if you lean into the human, like especially my bet is that everybody's just gonna like, we're already getting overwhelmed with this AI stuff. And we're all kind of getting overwhelmed with these inbound funnels. We're all like desperate for that authentic stuff and that connection. And like, can I actually talk to somebody and actually like beyond just the insights and the tactics, can I actually connect with them at like a deeper level and feel like we're fucking doing something together, right? And what type of content is going to start to create that connection? And how do I lean into that authentic stuff? It is hard. It is brutally hard. The other thing that makes this difficult, even though I truly believe in this, I don't know how to sell this as like a service to some company. Because it's like I've hired so many writers. I've built a ton of content teams in different industries, different businesses. And look, the brutal truth is that most people can't do that content. They just can't. They don't have it in them. No matter how much writing coaching they get, no matter how much time you spend with writer rooms and your editorial processes, hitting that bar of quality is fucking hard. That's why like the founder-led marketing still works, is because you have something to say. You can say something in your space that hasn't been said before.
And I'm the only one that can say it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't like, how do you build like I'm going to go build a content agency that promises that? Like, fuck no. Like it's so hard. And I've even worked with like massive creator based businesses, and who's the only one that can like keep that business fueled? The creator, the person that started it. Right. And then every once in a while, there's like one other person on the team that can like hit that bar consistently, but they're unicorns. They're usually not paid enough. And it's a one-off. Right. So I think like going forward to kind of like give a little, put a bow on this and give something recommended. Like if you're a founder and you're you like marketing, you like content, I would lean into that if you enjoy that, whatever content medium you can. I think that'll continue to stand out. The other thing I think a really smart cutting edge company would do if they want to like break out of this like AI descent to the bottom or just AI descent to the fucking generic content that all sounds the same. You might like the evangelist role is not new, right? That has existed at other companies. And it's kind of risky, because you're taking on someone full time and their whole job is basically through their own personal brand, just rep the shit out of your company. What happens when they leave? Fair concerns. I don't think that's a problem. I think the ROI is more than there. Again, evangelist roles have been around for a while, but I think if a company really wanted to lean in to that, to like really authentic content, you find the one person that is like already a thought leader in the space that they're willing to go hard. Like I'd love to, if anybody's listening to this, I'd fucking love to work in this role. But anyway, whatever. That's a different story.
we tried to hire or let someone join the company like in an equity role who would be the super B2B thought leader. You probably know this person. Come in, like they're a big podcaster, and they just rep the shit out of us. And I thought they would be worth giving up, a few percent.
I wouldn't give equity, to be fair. I would never give up equity, but So I assume it didn't pan out.
It didn't work. No, I mean, they had their own thing that started really working, but I think that's part of it. So you got to find that. It's like hiring a co-founder. Like you got to find that type of person at the right
I think
point in their
more
career.
Misses than not. What was that guy that was the Apple evangelist for a number of years? He wrote like Art of the Startup. I can't blanking on his name.
I don't know.
But yeah, this was in like the 90s and the aughts, right? Like that's how you cut through now. Yeah. And I think you'll have more misses than not. I wouldn't give up equity. You're probably going to have to pay quite a bit. But like, I think you can still manage it. Like, I don't think you have to pay obscene. It just has to be high, not absurd. And, you also have to be willing to cut ties quickly if they don't. It's like hiring like a VP of sales, right? Like either you have an impact in the first 30 days or we walk away type of deal.
Yeah. I'll just like echo something you said is like, for my personal kind of content, the best stuff I've done are just like selfie videos in the car or walking the dog. It's the only content for me that works. Like I can write by hand, great posts. The shit I write with ChatGPT works way better. Like the text-based stuff works way better than my personal writing. But if I'm walking the dog and I shoot a little selfie video talking about marketing or something, it performs 10 times better.
Yeah, because it's authentic. It's in the moment.
And on YouTube and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why these, like, you see these fucking founder brand agencies everywhere.
Yeah. And either you're going to do some version of that personal branding, whether you hire an evangelist, you founder led, whatever.
Yeah.
It's either that or you're going to go have to pay a shitload of influencers to rep you for you.
Right. Right. Which is the kind of D2C play. Yeah.
I think even on a B2B basis, maybe that's the arbitrage opportunity, finding every B2B thought leader in your category and paying them a bunch of money to rep your shit.
Yeah.
Like there's no infrastructure. It's all built out on the B2C side, but not B2B. And like the AI stuff is all the old like direct response channels are kind of in decline and they're getting rougher and more competitive and the pie is shrinking. But how do you get in front of everybody else now? Influencers.
Yeah.
Or ads, paid influencers. So what's the only organic method? An in-house influencer of some kind, whether it's a founder or, maybe you have a small team of people that are extremely high caliber. I don't know. But the options have narrowed. And then it's definitely gone through a pretty big shift. So
yeah. Well, man, this is awesome. Folks who want to reach out, you're on LinkedIn. Is that the best place to connect?
Yeah, I am on LinkedIn. I like it a little bit. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Blue Sky, although I have like no followers and it feels like a ghost town there whenever I publish something. It's very sad. So if you're on Blue Sky, follow me. And then I do have a Twitter account. I feel bad every time I look at it because of fucking Elon. And then, actually the main way to stay in touch is I have a newsletter. It's at larslofgren.com. I email, I don't know, every couple of months or something when I've got something really important to say. That's the best way to like stay in my world.
Stay in touch. Awesome. We'll link all that in the show notes below. Lars, this is awesome, man. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah. Had a great time, Craig.
All right.